if you are.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the Black Guy Who Tips podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
and we're live on a Monday night, ready to do some podcasting. Show notes, look in the link, get live tickets. That's it.
Yes.
We got a live show coming up September the 9th on a Saturday.
Virtually and in person.
3 p.m. in the afternoon. You ain't got nothing else going on. Check us out. You can be there however you need to be there. And tickets are only $20. We're at the Night Theater, which we actually got to see for the first time. So the Night Theater, even though you get your tickets from Blumenthal Center for Performing Arts, same place,
right?
The actual venue is like a different location. It's like right up, it's in the same vicinity, but right up the street.
Yes, it is.
And it's gonna be lit, y'all.
Yes.
So we're part of this comedy festival that is happening. And so they asked us to be a part of it. And there's gonna be a beer garden.
Yes,
out there,
all types of outdoor events and stuff.
Right, they're gonna be having jugglers and shit out there. I don't know. Yeah. And then inside the theater is gonna be us performing. There's a comedy show going on. Like there's so much stuff happening this week. We're happy to be a part of it.
Yes,
I love the fact that we're being included in the Charlotte comedy scene because not to humble brag, but as the biggest podcast from Charlotte, definitely the oldest, we a lot of times I think when people do stuff and it's black, the people don't include you because it's like, oh, it's a black thing and that's different than the other stuff. It's like, well, our downloads count the same, our reach counts the same.
Yes, it does.
We did that live show there and people were coming in from Australia and shit, and they were like, God damn, who was these people?
Right.
So, like, that's all possible because of y'all.
Because of y'all.
And, even this us being included is possible because of fans like you. So please get tickets if you haven't already. Make plans if you want to be here, travel. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be a fun day of events. It's not just our show. If you want to come and participate in all the stuff, parking is $5 cash, just letting y'all know. And it's like literally a parking deck, right. Like literally you walk out the parking deck and walk right into the theater.
Right.
We just did this for Kev on Stage's show, which we saw the Ball Brothers comedy tour while it was in Charlotte. We'll talk about that today as well.
Yes.
But yeah, man, I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to seeing you all.
Me too.
I'm looking forward to putting on a live show for those that'll be there virtually. And I just want to encourage y'all to get tickets because it's gonna be super fun.
Yes, it's gonna be fun. And as Roger said, and I will continue to repeat this, if you are somebody that goes, I know I can't be in person, but I want to purchase tickets, do that. And forward Roger the emails, and he will actually be able to give the tickets to somebody who might not have the 5. They might be like, I would love to come, but I ain't got the 5. And so Roger will be able to allow other people who live here in the Charlotte area or who can make it to the Charlotte area that want to actually participate and be in person. So definitely looking forward to that. So if that's something that you want to do, know that is also an option.
Yeah, so please come out. Let's see it. Let's do it. That's kind of the show notes up front. For some reason the volume is low. Okay, that might fix that.
How we sound now? Good.
Yeah, I'm looking at it's fixed.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's the show notes. Also in the show notes, all the contact information. If you want to participate in our feedback show, that's the best way to do it. Look there, click on those things, go to the website, all that stuff. Email, everything is there. So yeah, do that as well. The main thing we want to do, we don't really have there's things to talk about, but I know everybody has wanted to hear our experience for going to see Beyonce. Going to see Beyonce last week. We've been looking forward to it.
Yes.
We're big fans.
Yes.
And so we just wanted to give you this breakdown, I guess, of our Renaissance club Renaissance attendants are
our version of it.
Yeah, give y'all the breakdown of how it went. The first thing I'll say is when we got those tickets, Karen was in charge of getting the tickets. Karen got the hotel. My mom went with us, so we had like 2 hotel rooms. And
a lot of that, I'm not gonna lie, was anxiety. I was like, I'm not fighting nobody's traffic. I want to be already downtown.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, to be honest. Like I deal with anxiety a lot myself, and I just didn't want to yuck any of your yum. I was just like, whatever you want to do. To this day, I do not know how much our tickets cost. I do not know how much the hotel room costs. I don't know how much any of the stuff that Karen spent the money on cost, because when I got that credit card bill, I paid it off immediately and did not look back. Like, I just take all the money to get this back to zero, and I'm not itemizing shit. I like memory wipe myself. So I'm like, I know we got it.
Mm-hmm.
I know we've been saving to have
we've been
it.
Saving.
I know we had our Beyonce emergency fund on deck.
We did.
And
I've been saving since the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah, so it was basically like, whatever it costs, if it's over what we save, cool. If it's a once in a lifetime concert event.
Mm-hmm.
And so cost wise, I still don't know. And I don't care. I just because the other thing is, I wanted Karen to be happy. I think she's been looking forward to this. I almost didn't go myself. As much as I'm a fan of Beyonce, I know, like, I got in my head a little bit about it being like, kind of like a black woman, black femme thing. And like, hey, look, people want to go and have that space for themselves and da-da-da. But honestly, that was too much black Twitter talking. I was like, them niggas don't know what the fuck they talking about. I paid for tickets and I'm a fan. I listen to them albums and I know all the words too. Why the fuck I can't go? But that's something, I think that's also anxiety talking, me getting in my own head to be like, should I just da-da-da? And so I was like, yeah, I'm going and I'm going to have a good time. And the way my anxiety works is I was more overwhelmed with it coming up, like the day before and the weeks before, thinking about travel, which we're only going uptown to stay.
I mean, we ain't going far.
But to me, it was actually the opposite. It was, we don't need, in my brain, I don't need a 2-night stay in a hotel. We could stay for 1 night if we even got to stay for there. We could probably drive there and come back. Yes, there's going to be traffic, but we're from here. We know how to get there and back and da-da-da. That's how my brain works. I'm not trying to, obviously I kept this to myself. I never said anything about it and I never brought it up or whatever. I just was like, no, it'll be fine either way. Over preparing isn't worse than it. The only thing that's worse is under preparing. So being over prepared, fine. We'll be there 24 hours before we need to be there or whatever. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, that was my anxiety, because I was like, bitch, if I'm late, I'm gonna be angry. So let me go ahead and book and get the hotel room, because as soon as I bought the tickets, I bought the hotel room within minutes, and then I went back an hour or two later. All the rooms had tripled in price. I was like, no, bitch, because like I said, we had like almost the opposite anxiety problems, because I was like, if I'm sitting in traffic and I'm late because I'm sitting in motherfucking traffic, I would have a fit.
Yeah, it's just interesting because also, like, I'm seeing people are now mad that they didn't wait, because the tickets that were super high months ago, now that like when she opened up 2 more shows in Atlanta, there's people that's like, fuck, I spent $1,400 on tickets that are $200 now. So they're mad the other way. So the point being, like, people gonna be mad. I think you just buy your tickets so you can be in the building. That's the point. And if you're gonna be in the building, that's the only way to know you're gonna have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And so even with the hotel thing, I'm like, if we could have got a hotel a block away from the arena, that's even better. Because I think we still had to walk like a mile and some change to get there or whatever, right? But at any rate, so we get downtown, we check into the hotel. It's like one of those loft kind of hotel things, like the new joints, which I do kind of like them. They're a little more new, and they're a little more like kind of snazzy technologically.
Mhm.
Although this one wasn't like the one we stayed in. We went to in Arizona where
that was
they had like
fancy.
you could log into your apps through the TV and all this type of stuff.
Mhm.
They weren't that fancy, but
Mm-mm.
the AC worked, which is the number one thing I cared about.
That bitch was blowing.
As soon as I walked in, I put that bitch on like 66 and was like, "Let's go. Let's see if you can do it." And it did. So I did like listen, because hotel AC is hit or miss.
Ain't it though?
Like you could tell a bad hotel when the AC don't work. You'd be like, "Fuck, man, they ripped me off. This shit turning off too soon. This is not 60 degrees or whatever the fuck."
Why is it hot here?
And then like that night, once we got checked in, because we did the show, then we drove up there just to get the lay of the land and stuff. And that night we went to Red Diner or something.
Yeah,
Red Eye Diner.
Yeah, Red Eye Diner.
Which is like a diner right downstairs from the hotel, stays open all night. We were at the Epicenter. The Epicenter in Charlotte used to be swanky and like popping.
Yes, it did.
But I think the pandemic and stuff really fucked up the Epicenter.
Yeah, because a lot of the anchor places have gone and kind of left. So now it's almost like a ghost town, or with a lot of construction happening around it.
Yeah, so it was dope. It was like a we had good food and shit.
The food was actually really good.
I had like an omelet or something. Karen had chicken and French toast.
Yeah, I like,
which is superior to chicken and waffles.
Yeah, it was chicken and waffles. And I was reading the menu, and they was like, "Oh, you could do $1 extra. You could upgrade it to French toast." And I asked the most pertinent, critical question. Excuse me. Is it thick French toast? I want Texas toast, because the thing about French toast, if you do French toast and your bread is not thick, sometimes the batter is too thick, and then they cook it and it's all mushy and all that shit. And so I like thick Texas toast because the batter don't matter. That bitch is always gonna come out right.
Thick Texas, just like Beyonce. So then like the next morning, my mom gets up. My mom walks like 5 miles a day or something.
Every day, don't she?
So she got up and just started walking around downtown and stuff. She knows the way, she's cool. Mm-hmm. That morning is when we checked out the night theater, because we wanted to know what the run through the venue and the setup and cameras and all the stuff that you need for a live show.
Right.
What equipment we're going to use, who are the equipment guys, what about music, what about this, So we go through that walkthrough. That was like a really cool thing. That theater is so big.
Yes, it is. It's beautiful.
I think we've sold about 100 tickets as of now. I saw that this morning. Mm-hmm. Thank you, everybody that bought tickets. I know we're not gonna have the 1,000 people that feel that shit.
However big that is.
Yeah, that would be crazy. But whatever it is, I know we're gonna rock it for whoever's there. Mm-hmm. But the point being, like, seeing that space was like, I don't know, man. It's one of those things where it's like I started visualizing the show we're gonna do and the fun we're gonna have in the audience and their faces.
Yes, sir.
And because this one's kind of like a last minute thing that we found out, like it's not us planning it,
right?
I think this one will be like kind of like a get to know you bare bones thing for us. Mm-hmm. But I think if we get that space, or even if we go back to the old space in the future,
yeah, we'll let y'all know further,
because they've been encouraging us to do more. They want us to do more shows with them.
They actually do.
Like, we've been doing like one show a year maybe with them, and they're like, "What you think about doing 2, 3, 4?"
Yeah,
And so I'm gonna take them up on that. So we'll be doing another show there sooner rather than later. Probably not. It won't be a year from now. I'll put it that way.
No, it won't be a year. Yeah, so go ahead and get your PTO time together, y'all.
Yeah, we'll let y'all know when those plans come together, but we'll do our show, not like part of a festival, like just us.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was cool walking through that whole thing. And that was our morning. And then my anxiety was through the roof, because when I was in the hotel, I don't know. I wasn't really sleeping because my head was just counting down to Beyonce. And it was one of the reasons I think if I would have planned it myself, I would have been staying at home at least the first night. And then the second night I might have gone to the hotel. But I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that, but just I was like, I'm gonna take the car. Karen, you're staying here where the hotel is. My mom is here. Y'all go out and have black girl time. Y'all go eat. Y'all go, because I wasn't even, when I get anxious, I don't get hungry. I don't want to have sex. I don't want to drink. When I get that kind of anxiety or anxiousness, I actually just want to like curl up, lay down, and like try to rest or put my mind to sleep or something. And then when the thing happened and we're ready to go, I'm geeked, but up until then, it's just like, I can't sleep, I can't eat, I can't do, I'm just here. It's like I'm just here, And so I needed some busy things to do. So I went and got my glasses. I got new glasses, new frames. Mm-hmm. Who this? I got my glasses. I ran like a couple errands and stuff I had to do. And then I went home and I laid down for like maybe 3 hours or so, just laying in my own bed. And Karen was out with my mom getting food and all that stuff. And then I was like, I'll come back downtown before traffic starts. So I left here probably like 3:30 or so before you even definitely not rush hour traffic, and also definitely not Beyonce traffic. Concert wouldn't start until like 8. So I got back to the hotel and Karen was already like in there asleep or something, and I just slept until it was about time to go.
Yeah, I think for me it was kind of the same but different. I think that that night after we went to the Red Eye, we came back and we slept.
The first night,
my brain, I had to, and Roger has pointed this out to me, and I'm aware of this now. I have the energy of a small child whenever I have like events and things or planning things like that. No matter how prepared I am, which is why I say I have the energy of a small child. My brain goes dee, 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 dee. Like I could just feel my brain just bouncing all over the place, and I get stimulated really easily. I'm like, ooh, something new, ooh, something to do, ooh, what's this, ooh, what's that, ooh, 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 ooh. You know how your kids get when you gotta tell them to go somewhere, sit down to calm down. That's how I was. So the night before after we came in, I woke up about 4 something, then I woke up again about 5 something, and I woke up again about 6 something, and I had to keep telling myself, Karen, go back to sleep, because if you don't get your rest now, you literally won't have energy. So I forced myself to go back to sleep because I knew we had to go to the not to Blumenthal, but to the Nice Theater. So I forced myself to go to sleep, and we walked. So I think the walking took out some of that energy.
Morning we walked the wrong way.
Yes.
At first, because we thought we were going to the old theater, and then we had to turn around and walk the other way. So we probably walked a couple miles in the morning. Then, so I think that helped like get some of the tension and anxiety out, and also seeing the space, because I also was nervous about seeing the night theater and how big it was going to be, and how were they going to be able to set it up, and if we could get all that technical stuff worked out, which we did. So that was also a relief. Then, little stuff, getting my glasses, going home, all that stuff helped. And then I know y'all went out and got food at 204 North.
Yes, which was really nice, because I know me and you had been there, and I was thinking myself, I was like, I think it's closed. And I was like, yeah, it is closed. I was telling your mom about it. So we didn't get the dinner menu. We got like the lunch menu. So me and her went there, and we was there like right when they opened up, and we literally got the last table that wasn't reserved. They was like, do y'all have reservation? We was like, no, we don't have reservation. They was like, well, we got a table for 2. I was like, well, that table's for us. And so as we sat there and they dinner, all the reservations kind of started pouring in for people kind of booking in advance, who people were in town, people coming for the show and all that stuff. So we sat there and we ate. The meal was absolutely delicious. Then after that, me and mom, we just walked around downtown, because she's very, very familiar with downtown because she's worked downtown. So we walked around. We went to, we were showing the parks and stuff like that. And we got, what is it? Golden Cow.
Mm-hmm. Ice
cream. And your mom was like, I was like, oh, let's get some ice cream. And she was like, ice cream? I was like, yeah, the Golden Cow. She was like, I didn't know that was ice cream. So we got ice cream, and we walked for if we walked about an hour, and I'm really glad we took that walk because I think that walk really got a lot of the
and that was
energy out of me.
Yeah, and that was the exact kind of thing I didn't want to do. Like it was hot. It was out, it's outside. I don't want to eat. I don't, I just am in cruise control. Especially like I do this also when we travel places. Like I'm normally, that's when I'm not eating. I'm not doing, like, I know most people are like, you go out, you do this, you do that. And I'm very like when we travel for like doing the podcast, I'm very low energy until it's time to like be high energy. So like it's time for the panel, it's time for the live show, let's fucking go. But before then, I'm just like energy, just reserving my energy, just holding it on. And so anyway, let's get to the shit that matters, because I know this is a bunch of preamble for shit y'all don't care about.
Y'all like, we don't give a fuck what y'all did beforehand.
At any rate, concert time. I know the number one thing thinking, what about clothes? Well, Karen overpacked. She bought so much fucking clothes. We literally 15 minutes from our house. There's no need to bring a bunch of outfits. But to all fairness, Karen doesn't know how she gonna feel.
I tell them that. I don't.
I know. So she don't know which outfit she's gonna go with. Okay? She didn't have just a designated one Renaissance outfit. Mm-mm. Now I bought her every Beyonce clothes over the years. Every Christmas and holiday is just Beyonce up in this house every year for her. So she got plenty. I mean, even the stuff she didn't wear to the concert the days before was all Beyonce stuff. Stuff that I thought she might have wore to the concert, but she decided not to do that. Mm-mm. But then because she need choices, obviously I need choices, because I don't want to be out here making her feel like I'm trash and I'm just dragging her down. Now I'm not a fancy dressing person.
I wouldn't have felt like that.
I know, Karen. Okay. But some of these are jokes. Damn. Get paid the right kind. But the point is, like, I had to also overpack,
Can he be the Kanye to my Kim?
I had to overpack too, so that
I was packing everything.
In case she went with the flower top, I needed a flower shirt. You see what I'm saying? And so she did go with a flower top. So I did have a flower shirt. So I wore that, because it's also that thing too, where like we're not that flamboyant of people. So you're not going to really see us wearing like skimpy clothes or revealing clothes or like, look at me clothes. Like, we just don't have those clothes.
So we don't.
We're 40-something-year-old married people that's,
we old.
Yeah, born from the South. We don't swing, it is what it is. So it was, I knew I wasn't gonna have to be like, let me wear my thong, it was whatever. So we had our clothes all ready to go and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then we walked over there. And I gotta say, even on the walk over, man, the excitement is palpable.
You could feel
I love the way Beyonce's community is. Like, especially for all the shit she's taken from inside and outside the community over the years. That feels like the Black utopia that I dream of. I know that's not the one a lot of people dream of. It's not everybody's shit. But for me, the idea of like Black people coming together of all shapes, sizes, and forms, of all gender orientation, all sexual orientation, all different statuses, single, married, whatever, like all those people being free and having a good time and coming together for a common cause of having fun. And you can see the people that chose to like show out.
Yeah.
Like everybody's titties was out, everybody's ass was out, everybody, not everybody, but you know what I mean? Like enough. Like the ones who decided like, I'm stunting on these hoes tonight. They was out there. Dudes that had like, look like Fenty, the Fenty lingerie type shit on.
Yes, yeah.
And like nobody was fucking with nobody. Nobody was.
Everybody was there to have a good time.
Nobody was bothering anybody. No one's talking shit to anybody. Nobody was judging people for what they had on or their body size or type or orientation. Everybody was just like on the mission to get to that motherfucking concert.
Yes,
in one
everybody
piece.
was like, it's in that direction. Okay, let's roll. And all of a sudden, and you could tell everybody was going because just mass of people kind of pushing in one direction.
If anything, the unifying cause of that fucking group was don't fuck up us getting to Beyonce.
Right? As long as you don't fuck up and slow the line down, we was good. And I was having a ball. The cowboy hats. I know I might sound stupid, y'all, maybe because I didn't know. Did y'all know how cowboy hats have LED lights and blink? Bitch, I didn't know. Child, there was so many LED blinking cowboy hats. I was like, oh shit, they blink. Because I was walking, all of a sudden I just seen cowboy hats just blinking on and off with rhythms and shit. I was like, the fuck is happening here?
And the fashions were off the hook with like a lot of Black designers and stuff in our local Charlotte area. They talked about how people was going to their shops particularly to go to this Beyonce concert to get their fits. So like even the Charlotte Observer had links to like, hey, go to this place, this boutique to get your Beyonce outfit and all this stuff. And you could see people was wearing that stuff.
Yes, and the boots and the glitters and the shimmering. Yes.
And so then, we get into the arena and we kind of lucked out, man. And this was a big concern of mine because one, I overheat easily. But I brought my bottles of water with me and stuff. But also it's just been, I don't know if you guys know, it's been hot as balls lately. It was 105 or 108 today in Charlotte. Mm-hmm. So the whole time I've been looking at the fucking weather report, like, man, please for Beyonce, Lord Jesus, please don't be one of these motherfucking the last day on earth fast days we've been having. And so it was perfect. It was like 80 degrees or something. Mm-hmm. It was a little humidity. It was a little bit of wind. And for us to have to be outside for that long, it was going to be, the shit. And also the thing I had done to prepare for the concert.
You did research.
Yeah, the thing I had done to prepare for the concert though was I've been listening, and I don't know if y'all are doing it too, but I've been listening on Spotify to this playlist called Beyonce Set List 2023 Renaissance. Mm-hmm. And so I shout out to Ashley Johnson with 2 N's at the end. So I knew the order of the songs, the old songs she was using from the other album, who covers she was gonna be singing, all this shit. So I've been listening to this shit for weeks. Like I was like, I know as soon as this shit start, where we going?
Everything was a surprise to me.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not saying it shouldn't have been, but I wanted to know. And so I had looked up like how long does it actually take her to start? Because like, the concert says 8, but she doesn't start until 9. And when I tell you she started this motherfucker at 9, not 8:59 seconds, not 9 minutes and 1 second, not 9, nigga. She like that hour was exactly what it's supposed to be. We didn't have a rain delay, so it is what it is. But I looked that shit up too, because I was like, we actually don't need to get there at 8. We can get there like 8:15, 8:30, and we'll still be plenty early.
Yeah, and the doors open up like at 6:30, and they was telling everybody to get there. And when me and your mama was walking, we actually did like a pre-walk to the stadium to kind of find out the quickest and the most effective way to get there without like the most turns and shit, trying to go downtown. And people were already in front of the little stall buying out the t-shirts. I was like, well, goddamn, they're gonna be sold out for the show start.
And we found out like going to the south entrance to get to the place we want to be for the clearest, and that was the entrance with the least people and stuff. So like it worked out really well for us to get there on time. And so we sit down, everybody gets situated. You got your 30 minutes or whatever that we had to wait. And then the motherfucking lights went down and the goddamn screen, the LED screen lit up. They stopped playing like all the little hold music shit. Mm-hmm. And there was an announcer that came on and said that, welcome, Beyonce. And then there's like a 5-minute video montage of shit before she even come out. It's just other shit. Like it's just, It's like Beyonce cyborg, Beyonce spaceship, Beyonce robot, Beyonce as a bee, Beyonce as a time traveler, Beyonce as a superhero. It's like nothing but just Beyonce montage before she pops up on the screen. And when I tell you this woman is an elite level athlete.
Yes, she is.
This motherfucker came out here and gave us 2.5 hours, no fucking opener. And this ain't 2 hours standing around. This ain't 2 hours with an acoustic guitar. This ain't I'm talking about when she was on that stage, she was moving. Mm-hmm. Move out the way. You know what I'm like? She was coming through, and like all the old songs, all the new songs blending together perfectly. Like the one thing you can't get from the playlist is the mashups and the way like certain things move over, and then seeing it live. It's certain shit that with Beyonce that you just can't appreciate till you see it live. Like, for example, people really gave her shit about that fucking Frankie Beverly and Maze Before I Let Go, the homecoming edition, being like, it ain't better than the original, ain't it? And I'm like, do y'all think she really set out to make the better fucking Frankie Beverly? She wanted to be like Frankie Beverly and Maze, and us be like, take that Frankie Beverly Maze off and put on that. No, but it's really more of a mashup of a bunch of party songs and a bunch of atmosphere. Mm-hmm. And when you see it live, it just come together. You know what I mean? Like it just come together. And I think that was a big moment for me, was like watching those songs perform live. And of course, I mean, it's that thing where you know all her songs, even if you don't know her songs. Like she had so many hits that's been on the chart, so many videos, so much. So, you know, when she comes in, and I don't even think she started right away with the Renaissance stuff.
She was dressed in all black, and she sounded like a really slow song.
Yeah, it was like a montage. I was like,
it was a montage.
Yeah, it was like Dangerously in Love, Flaws and All, 1+1. Did she do I'm Going Down? Yeah, she did. I'm Going Down by Mary J. Well, not Mary. I know Mary J didn't originate it, but
yeah,
I'm Going Down, I Care. She did that Tina Turner tribute, and then she like went back into the back. And let me tell you, so that's like 20 minutes or so right there. The way this show works, she do like 20, 30 minutes. Then there's like an interlude of other shit. Right. So you might get like a band coming out, you know, the guitars doing solos,
singers coming out,
background singers, dance off. I forget what you call it, but like, you know, that the pose kind of dance off, like when they have a ballroom type situation. Like that, it was all kinds of stuff like that happening. And it's such high energy. And when it's not people, it's like the screen is taking you places, somewhere. You know? And so one of the things that was, to me, wild was her being on stage was standing only.
Yeah, the whole time.
It's like the end of a fucking game of basketball where it's the fourth quarter and every bucket is fucking like tying the game up. That kind of, like, that's how everyone was standing. Like, if you thought you was finna sit, wrong. You was wrong as shit. You was gonna be standing, or you wasn't gonna be seeing.
That's why I wore tennis shoes. I was like, bitch, I'm not trying to be cute out here, and I know I'm being popping around.
Oh my God, that reminds me, y'all. I made a best friend. I sat next to the most adorable black woman.
She was.
She came there by herself. She sat in the wrong row. But I think she might have sat in the wrong row because someone was originally in our seats.
Yes.
And so Karen kind of was like, no, your seats are this place. And they got up and left.
Child, yeah, because I asked the usher, because I was like, Usher, where am I going? Usher, and Usher was like, yeah, I was like, no, I know I'm in the right spot.
Yeah, so they, you know, it wasn't like no beef or nothing.
Oh, no,
it was very like, oh, sorry.
I think they was one section over.
Yeah, they just went and got to the right section or whatever. But this woman who was by herself, and she was like, in a row down, but then she was like, wait, so I think those are my seats too. So she actually had the end seat, and which honestly I like the end seat, but you know, beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah,
but I almost was gonna ask her, like, do you want to switch? Because you can sit next to my wife and my mom, and it's black girl time. I don't want to get in the, she's by herself.
Right.
But honestly, man, it was so, I didn't ask her to switch, but it was so cool because we ended up talking a lot.
Yeah.
And she was like funny and stuff too. And we were having a good time and like singing all the words and all that type of shit. And, recording with our phones. And like we had a time, me and her, we was buddies. Like she dropped her keys or something, and I was like, oh, and there was a white lady below us, and I was like, do you want me to tell her to get your keys for you? And she was like, no, I'll get them. And she was like, I'm sorry, but like at the beginning she said, I'm sorry, but my feet are killing me in these heels, and I'm not gonna be able to I'm either gonna have to sit or take these hips. I said, girl, take your fucking shoes off. Don't nobody care about
that. It was, ain't
nobody judge. Listen, this ain't Black Twitter. I'm not gonna tell you dirty feet and then tell everybody take your shoes off.
A lot of people that took their shoes off. They walked up in them heels trying to be cute.
You ain't gonna be able to stand in them heels for 2.5 hours. It's fine.
Only Beyonce could do that.
Right. And so she took her heels off, and then she also was like she dropped her keys. And she was like, I don't want to, I'll get them later. I said, you sure? Because I can just ask the woman to get them. She was like, no. She's like, I just don't want nobody to see my skirt if I have to bend over to pick them up. I was like, well, I'll stand up and then you can get them. And so she got her keys like when nobody was looking and stuff. She also was talking when we first got there about how she was like, I was telling my hairdresser,
because she pushed the appointment back.
She pushed my appointment back. I said, you better not make me late for Beyonce. I'm gonna be mad at you.
I was like, I know,
like this ain't the day to be moving no appointments around. Everything need to be on time.
Right.
So yeah, we and then she couldn't really bring extra shoes because they have weird rules at the stadium where you got to wear, the only bag you can bring in there is a clear 12 by something.
Yeah, it's really
bag.
tiny.
So you can't put shoes in there. So she really,
not unless they small.
It's like whatever shoes you walk there in is what you got.
Yes, sir.
So at any rate, man, we had a good time. She was cool. It was loud as fuck in there. So she was talking to me a lot and I couldn't hear everything, but I, politely laughed and nodded. And when I could hear, I tried to respond, But yeah, so Beyonce was just getting it. There were also 3 white women in the section, the one row beneath us.
Child, them white women were getting they motherfucking lies, honey. They got white girl wasted, but they was having a ball. It was 3 of them. It was hilarious. When they all came down, they all had beers. And I seen them. One went up and got 3 beers. The middle one went up and got 3 beers. The other one went up and got 3 beers. And every time you turn around, they was tossing them beers in the air and having the time of their lives. But they were cool.
They were drunk. They were dancing. They were having a good time. Here's what I mean when I say I love the way Beyonce brings people together. And it's not that platitude of like, it was white people up there with black people. No, white people love black people shit all the time. That's nothing to be proud of.
Yes, sir.
It was this. They knew they was visitors. By which I mean, at the end of America's Got a Problem, Beyonce throws up Black Power fist. Them white women kept their motherfucking hands down. Okay? Now look, you might not be impressed by that. I don't know the whites around your area. I was extremely fucking impressed because it take a little bit of extra knowledge to know that's not for us. That's for everyone else. And it wasn't like I'm angry, I can't put my fist up. It was a respectful thing. Now look, did they want some ally cookies? Yes. Them white women made eye contact with me. They turned all the way around to be like, did you see what I did? Did you see I knew not to throw the Black Power fist up? And I nodded at the Becky's like, yes, I saw this. Please turn around. Because they kept trying to like make eye contact with me the whole time. I don't know if it was like that 1 degree. Y'all know the solidarity between white women and black men. Y'all know what I'm talking about too. I'm not saying the like pogs kind. I'm talking about that. Listen, we're both privileged in certain ways, and we both are visitors to this space in certain ways, and we're gonna be friends, right? You get it. You get annoyed with the black women sometimes too. You know that shit. And so they kept turning around and be like, but we both know the words. And I'm like, ma'am, please, I'm not going to make eye contact with y'all. And I'm not going to give y'all credit for knowing the words to one of the most popular artists on the planet. I think everyone in this bitch know the words. So it's not really special. But, and also like, I'm in my own head. Like, I'm not here to dance with anyone else. I'm not here to sing together with you. I don't know you, stranger. It's already enough. Me and this new person I just met, we already vibing. My mom and my wife are behind me. Like, we got our 4 black people vibe. We met vibe minimums. So, but nah, they were cool too. And then the highlights to me were, of course, Lake Twins. I think that's what they call.
Yeah, it's the first time seeing them live. They something else to see live, man.
Yeah, she loved them, and they have like their own like segments and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The fucking ballroom dance off. I bet it's different every night.
Right.
But oh my God.
I had never seen anything like, I've seen it, but I've never seen anything like that live.
Yeah, you never watched Pose either. So yeah, but it was even better than that. Like, just because of like how much space and range people got to go, the different body types, everybody getting a chance to go off. Like, and then one of the major highlights, Blue Ivy performed.
Yes, motherfucking Blue Ivy brought her ass out there. And honey, I think people like Roger said, people cheered for her like their niece was out there. People was like, bitch, you better dance.
It all turned into a recital. Everybody out there was an auntie or uncle to Blue Ivy when she came out there. We was all cheering like she was ours. And like, even Beyonce had that energy of like, it's my baby, y'all. Blue Ivy, the real star of the show, and everybody was cheering.
Yes, the real star of the show. People were louder for her than they was for Beyonce. They was like, Blue Ivy.
This 11-year-old girl has so much swag.
Didn't she?
Has so much fun. And obviously none of us could have, like, I don't want to say none, but come on, that's a lot. 11 years old, a stadium full of people. You out there dancing, not fucking up, swagging it out. Your mama is fucking Beyonce.
Right.
I mean, listen, if I was
the pressure,
if I was Blue Ivy, I'd be like Rumi and Sir. Y'all would never see me. Because I'm like, what the fuck I'm gonna do? Be a better rapper than my daddy? One of the greatest all time? A better performer, singer than my mama, one of the greatest all time? No, I'm gonna go into some different shit that these niggas don't do. I'm gonna be like, I was like, my rebellion during my teenage years is gonna be like, I want to be a rocket scientist. I want to study physics. I want to do some shit that's not cool. Y'all not fitting to fuck with me. But nah, she got out there so confident. It was so dope. The energy was so beautiful, and everybody was feeling it. It like, honestly, the energy in that place was, oh my God, it was you could feel it when she was out there. So that was definitely a highlight. Listen, I think, and I know I'm biased because I was there. I think we got a 9 out of 10 on the mute.
Yeah, we got 9 out of 10.
We didn't get a 10 out of 10 or whatever. I don't know if anyone actually got a 10 out of 10. I'll take DC's word for it, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't believe it. Because, and I've realized what the problem is with the mute thing. The problem now is everyone knows the mute is coming. Everyone expects the mute is coming. But part of the problem is people start cheering because people are doing a good job at doing the fucking mute. So you get like 10 seconds into the mute, and then some motherfuckers at the back start being like, yes, we're doing a good job. And it's like, that fucks up the mute.
Yes, that's what happened.
And also it's an arena full of people. It was always stupid to think everybody was gonna mute. It used to be a funny internet kind of joke.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they fucked up the mute. Ha ha ha. But then it seemed like people started taking the fun out.
Yeah, taking it seriously.
Because it's like an impossible thing. You're talking about a lot of fucking people.
Yeah.
And there's, even if it's just an individual person that don't, and there's some people that I think are fucking it up on purpose to be like,
correct.
Oh, haha, it's funny. I'm the one that fucked up the mute. And so, like, in the back, near the top, you could hear some people like yelling, and clapping and stuff near the end, like after about 5 or 6 seconds of silence, you hear some people in the back like, yeah, and then she starts to singing it again. And but yeah, it was, I think we did a great job. It just wasn't. And then it was funny because when me and the girl next to us, I never even got her name. Me and the girl next to me, we was like, early, like, you think we're gonna do the mute thing? I was like, I don't know, man. It's hard. I was like, I ain't really seen nobody really get it. I heard DC got it, but I didn't see it. I just heard it. And she's like, yeah, I hope so. But I said, we gonna fuck it up. She was like, yeah, we're gonna fuck it up. And so during the mute, everybody's quiet. And then you hear a couple people start yelling. We and her looked at each other like, we knew they was gonna fuck it up. But the mute thing was fun.
Yes, it was fun. Did she kind of give us reach? I was like, that's better.
She gave us a what?
A retry. She did it again. And she was like, much better.
Yeah. So like, I think it's just supposed to be cute, but I think people
it was fun.
Yeah, people got a little too I don't know, something. Like I don't know what the word is, but y'all know what I mean. It got a little too something in that motherfucker. Another highlight when she sang Love on Top, and then she let us sing the chorus. And she let us sing that last part of the chorus where it's just you say that shit like 5-6 times in a row.
And they were getting it, boy.
And a whole
I know that's something about like a minute. It sounded like a minute. I was singing too.
Yeah, a whole arena of people singing that Love on Top chorus at the just it was like a religious experience. It's that fun.
Really fun.
It was.
Yeah, and I was surprised. I didn't lose my voice because, honey, I was ready.
Yeah, it was. Everyone was yelling, and like I said, that part, I think everyone was yelling at this because she just literally stopped. She just held the mic out, and baby, yes, you. Everybody was fucking and it just kept. And as it kept going, everybody kept getting hyped, and it's like, and she's looking impressed. And listen, I think I have very high mental acuity and everything, but I think I could get how you could be in a cult now. I get it. Because like she's doing a lot of like talking to us, but really she must do that in every city. But I'm like, she's talking to me.
Yeah, and that's how I felt. I remember when she first came out in that black, and she was like, I've been doing this 25 years. And she kept telling us, thank you. I was like, bitch, you ain't got to tell me that. What is you thanking me for? No, thank you for coming to Charlotte. Everybody skip around this bitch.
Yeah, she was like thanking people. She actually was thanking people. I don't know how they figured this out. If it's on the teleprompter, she just looking at signs, and she's like,
she
happy birthday to Madison. Oh, it's your anniversary, June. Good for you. Like I'm like, how she even know this shit? And then she's like shouting people out during the fucking show and stuff, and then stopping and talking to us and giving us like anecdotes and stuff, and and of course she don't know us. She don't know me. It can't possibly be what I think it is. But in my mind, she was like, I love you, Roderick. Thank you.
She might as well have said that. I was here for it. Oh, and something else I really, really loved about the show, no matter how close you were or how far you were, you had a good seat in the house.
Yeah, that screen was really big.
And that screen literally helped everybody in the whole arena see what was happening.
Also, y'all, the fucking props and stuff for this goddamn show.
Child?
I'm talking flying horses. I'm talking a giant fucking horse, a tank. Like, what the fuck?
And the thing is, y'all, I was not on nobody's drugs, but that horse was so 3D. I was like, is that real? I was like, is that 3D or real? I was like, am I tripping? Because the way the horse came out of the circle, it kind of went like out beyond like where I thought it was
real.
stop.
It was real. It was a real prop.
And I was like,
at first I thought it was the screen doing like some type of optical illusion, but they actually have a big ass like building size horse. From my understanding, it takes them 5 days to set up the concert, and I see why.
Yeah, before she gets there.
Yeah, like this nigga is flying around and shit, like glowing, and fireworks are going off, and lights are everywhere and shit, and the fucking there's a tank they're driving, and there's like these fucking poles that the twins get on that flip back and forth and shit.
They was doing all types of shit in the air.
Yeah, and of course there's a band. There's fucking like the goddamn singers could have been their own group.
Yes,
they just the backup singers. And they came out and did like basically they was on some In Vogue shit.
yes, they was. They was like, y'all gonna get these vocals.
Like, so the way the concert works is like I told you, she do 20-30 minutes, and then there's a transition about 5 minutes for her to change clothes, drink some water, and then she back on the stage like she's LeBron James or some shit.
and every time it's a whole different ass outfit.
And honest to God, you need the break.
You know,
like you as a human being in the audience.
Yeah, I think you do. Yeah,
you need you. I was like, I was having a great time, but every time she went to change clothes, I said, "Oh, thank God, I can sit down for 5 minutes."
Yes, and everybody looked at each other like, "It's okay, sit down, right? It's okay, okay, sit down."
And sometimes you really don't get to take a break.
Yeah,
because you
think
think
on what's happening.
You about to take a break, and then she be like, "Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest fucking guitar player you ever heard of in your life." Bam, and then you be like, "Well, I got to stand to give this nigga some props. He can't be out here." It's like the twins. You like, "Oh, these niggas need some props. They dancing hard as fuck. I can't just sit down while they dancing hard as fuck." And the next thing you know, you be like, "Oh no, Beyonce coming back already. I didn't sit down. I didn't sit down."
That's how you feel. You be like, "I didn't take my mandatory break. What the hell is wrong with me?"
I was sitting down chugging water every time she left the stage. I was. It was funny. I was almost mad how good everybody was. It's like, oh damn, they doing the ballroom. Well, shit, I gotta stand up for this shit.
That ballroom was a sight to see. As somebody who has never seen that in real life, I've always seen the videos. That shit was really, really neat.
I was looking at myself like I was a kid. I was like looking at myself outside of my body like, he gonna sleep good tonight. All this walking, all this standing, all this dancing and singing, he gonna sleep. He gonna sleep real. He gonna bed as soon as he get back. And I did. So yeah, that was off the chain. The ballroom thing is just, honest to God, it could be its own fucking concert.
Yeah,
that shit could have went 30 minutes if they had wanted, and I would have watched it all. They were killing that shit. And once again, like, so here's the thing I did want to say about Beyonce in general, because I think Beyonce is like Coca-Cola with the cocaine in it. Okay,
she's the last of a generation.
Well, Coca-Cola with the cocaine in it. By what I mean is, she's so ubiquitous at this point. People have convinced themselves, well, I'm gonna take shots at her because she's always gonna be here. She's always been here. You know, I'd rather make fun of the people that love her, make fun of the work she does, make fun of her as a person and all this shit, because she feels like an institution. You know, forget about the girl who was in beauty pageants and then talent shows and her parents helped, and she worked her way up to this and all that. She feels like American royalty. And, you know, you laugh at the power. You punch up laughing at the power, right? But I don't really do that shit. I don't really make jokes about Beyonce. I don't really pick on her. I never picked, even before I was a big fan of hers. This is before a self-titled album and stuff. Even before then, I've never talked shit about people that love Beyonce, her fans. You know, Karen used to think she was annoying me playing B-Day all the time back in our old apartment. I've never once in my life said a crossword about Beyonce.
And he didn't.
That album.
I was in my own head, y'all.
I've always been happy that like the thing I always loved about Beyonce before any of this stuff is that the black women that I had in my life got their life to her. And to me, that's enough.
Yeah, and like I said, a lot of that is like getting in my own head, because I remember we was in one of the old apartments, and I think you get it for me. I think you ended up buying it for me, and B-Day. And when I tell you, bitch, every day for about a year, every single motherfucking day, that bitch was on play. Me in the kitchen, I was cooking to it. I was motherfucking grilling to it. I was getting me body. Honey, I was popping and locking and bopping literally every motherfucking day.
Yeah, I'm sure it's one of the reasons I know some of those songs is because I've never owned that album. And I just know some of the songs from osmosis because she used to play it so much. But once again, I always felt like, even before I was like a huge fan of Beyonce, it was always like, it's black girl time. Shut the fuck up when it's black girl time. They be getting their life to this. Yeah. They came to when it was Destiny's Child, they came to our college campus my freshman year. And, you know, even then, I know they were a pop group, and I know that was before the music was before Beyonce kind of like really took control of her career and like was like, I am making this message, you know. It was like that was back when white people felt like they're all of ours, you know. The music was Survivor, you know, it was Bills. It wasn't like, you know, I like my Negro nose, you know, a certain way. So white people were able to envision themselves to it too, like, oh yeah, it's just girl power stuff. Who run the world, you know? But the thing I wanted to point out about Beyonce that to me separates her from even some other artists that I love, other artists that Black people love, other artists that Black women love. To me, the difference is the intentionality. We often shit on intentionality. Like, oh, you got to try. Everything's supposed to come to you naturally. It's supposed to be easy. But I think Beyonce's intentionality, as gifted as she is and as easy as she makes it look, is what makes me love what she does, because she chose us. She didn't have to do that. A lot of artists don't. There's a lot of Black artists that they don't want to step on Republicans buy shoes too. They don't want to step. And if you had, I remember seeing the Super Bowl show where she came out dressed like the Black Panthers, and I felt so immensely proud of this woman, and turned on, of course, we all feel that, but I felt so immensely proud of this woman because I was like, oh, she wants us to know she's for us, you know. It's what we do with our podcast. It's for us. Anyone can listen. We ain't never kicked anyone out of listening. But it's not for everybody, and you're not to be served here first and foremost. You can find some nourishment here, right? But just know when we came up with our plan, our curriculum, we wasn't sitting around thinking about anybody but Black people, right? And so to see an artist of that magnitude that sort of rejected the, hey y'all, it's just about one world and coming together, and it's just about girl power, feminism. She took it to like it's about Black feminism. And maybe it might not be your feminism, blah, 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 but she an individual person and she get to pick. You don't have to like it. She didn't say I'm coming to represent you. She just made her choices of like, no, I'm with the Black folks. You know what I mean? And I think not just Black folks, but it's like with Renaissance, it's like not just Black people, Black LGBTQ people, because that was, you know, something that people used to like try to knock her on. But a lot of this stuff is about people's journey. They come to it when they come to it. And whether she's been responding to criticism, whether she's been evolving, or whether she's just been like, you know, if you just in the most cynical mind ever, I'm just such a capitalist, I'll just pretend to like gay people. If you're that kind of asshole, fine. But I don't think she is. I think it's genuine. But it's the evolution and the freedom for me. You know, it's watching her, and I don't mean this in a negative way. People might take it this way. Watching her shed the guidance of her parents and guide herself. Because, you know, I feel the same way about a lot of stuff with Taylor Swift too. And I think too many of us have got caught up and brainwashed into this, like, I gotta hate all white people. She's popular, I gotta hate her. And it's like, it really isn't about that. It really isn't. Same story for her. All these people that come into our purview as children, as their parents are managing them, dog, their life different. And it's hard. Yeah, it is. Like, they don't go to normal school normally. They're not socializing. You're that famous. You're not just out here socializing with everybody and learning all these life lessons from going to public school and living in the neighborhood. So, like, there has to be an intentionality with one, what you want to learn and pursue, and two, the message you want to do. And you almost always, number three, have to fight against the control of your parents who are here to guide you, who love you and stuff. You got to fight against them to say, no, I want to be myself. And myself might not want to make the safe, music that's a little bit nebulous, and it's just girls run the world, and it's hey, bills, and it's hey, you know,
single ladies.
It's single ladies. It's, you know, it's everybody can get their life to this. No. I just want black people to get their life to this. No. I'm making a choice. You know, still girls, black girls. Okay, now black femmes. Like, to me, there's something so tremendously powerful about that, and I respect it, and I respect her because she chose us. Yeah. It's not to shit on. I'm not even gonna say other artists' names because I just think pitting women against each other, or pitting artists against each other, is people always lose the point.
Right.
So I'm not even gonna point out these other people, but there's other people that people like pit against her, where I'm like, I mean, yeah, they cool, but I kind of like the race nerd of Beyonce that's like, no, I'm picking us. Like, you don't have to imagine. You don't have to glom onto this. I'm making Black is King. You don't have to like it, but you know what the fuck I mean, and you know what the fuck I'm talking to. And it's not just the music and the shit. It's not surface level. It's the fact that if you go and talk to the artists that contributed to Black is King, they will tell you, like, Beyonce treated us unlike anybody the fuck else.
Right, paid us our worth.
So while No Name is shitting on Beyonce on Twitter, understand the actual artists that worked on that project are like, we not asking for your help, No Name. We were seen by this woman. Now you could feel however you want to feel as a person that was outside the room judging the optics. We telling you, you ain't gonna catch nobody shitting on her from inside the room, because we were like, no one's let us in the room. Then they paid us to be in the room. Then they respected us to be in the room. They let us show out in the room. They gave us direction, creative direction. They let us contribute. These are things that a lot of people don't get. When she comes to town and all the Black small businesses are making bank.
Yeah.
That matters. There's a reason it wasn't, like, if you look at the Charlotte Observer, it's a reason it's not like the businesses are booming. It was Black businesses, especially small Black businesses, are booming. Because even her fans are intentional with where they spend their fucking money. Like, it is different for her. And so I was like, it don't matter what it costs. I want to experience this. I feel like this is the closest we're going to get to like a Michael Jackson.
Like I said, she's the last breed of that generation.
Yeah.
And I will continue to say that because for those of you that were around at the time, y'all knew that when Michael Jackson performed or did anything, the world stopped. Everybody knew who Michael Jackson is. Everybody knows who Beyonce is. Now, with everything being so segmented, people have their things they listen to, but there are very few artists nowadays that are as a mega star. Yeah, you might have a handful, her, Taylor Swift, like it's a handful.
Right.
But other than that, most everybody, they niche. They're not like, I show up somewhere, it's going to be a global event.
And like I said, I'm not trying to shit on people, but take it with how I mean it. Michael Jackson ain't never have to worry about what size his clothes came in.
Right.
There was never an intentionality behind it. Like, yo, I got to make sure these zipper jackets come in 5X because some of my fans are 5X and they need to. Beyonce did. You know what I mean? She listened to the feedback. She wants people to be happy and included and feel that, you know? And each step, I feel like you watch her push beyond. Like, her capitalism's like Disney capitalism to me, where it's like, if you complain and be like, but I want to buy Ivy Park or whatever, and I ain't got, they ain't have my size. She like, what's the size? Next thing you know, she's sending Ivy Park to people, on Instagram and shit. And you like, oh, I'm that person's size. And they got that. Okay, so I can go ahead and get that then. That's the point. You know what I mean? And I think it's the work ethic that it's not just on stage. It's the whole fucking thing. I mean, I still remember when Black is King came out, all the people that was getting involved in the project. And there was some of these raggedy motherfuckers had talked shit about her. And then she was like, come do this project. And they was deleting them tweets. They was getting them.
Shits disappeared.
Now, of course, the Hive, which everybody's in, but nobody's in.
Right.
The Hive went and found them screenshots to be like, this you. But at the end of the day, I like that she wasn't even petty about the shit. She was like, okay, I'm Coca-Cola with the Coke in it. Everybody drinks me. Everybody got a fucking opinion. Here's the thing. Do you want to work with me? Yes, of course you do. Because I'm Coca-Cola with the Coke in it, nigga. Of course you want to work with me. And no, I'm bigger than that. I don't care that you was talking shit. Let's go. I love that shit. You know? So I like I said, man, I think to have an artist this big that just want to be ours, we're not gonna see that again.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? Because even Michael Jackson didn't really want to be ours like that.
Right.
Like when he went through that criminal shit, he was walking around with the fruit of Islam and shit. But that's more the like O.J. Simpson come back to blackness. Where's my dashiki type shit? Like,
right.
This is her getting bigger and could have made that look. I know she could be looking like people sometimes use it as a knock on her. Like, yeah, I mean, y'all think she's so big on the internet and shit, but look, these people be outselling her. This person be outselling her. I'm like, I love Taylor Swift. I'm not a hater. But you know why Taylor Swift outsells Beyonce? Because Beyonce is picking being black.
Right.
She could be up there singing a bunch of fucking like ballads that kind of are inclusive of everybody. And hey, I'm just trying to catch a vibe and a feeling. And I'm not saying Taylor doesn't pick a side or something, but she can't fit black.
Right. Because she's
not. There's a cost to picking black.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a cost. Look at the podcast that really blow up. Look at this niggas talking relationships and hip hop and a bunch of and having a bunch of ignorant opinions about blackness and not wanting to pick a political side. And Democrats, you know, they kind of bad too. And I wasn't gonna say nothing too much about Republicans. You know, Trump, I mean, I kind of get Trump. He kind of funny. Those are the niggas at the top, right? For black folks. They gonna always be at the top because once you pick that black side and say, actually, nah, I'm voting for Joe Biden, and I don't care if you niggas don't like it. I don't care if it make me look weird to say, you know, that Ice Cube is out the pasture on this bitch. Well, unless people gonna listen. You know what I mean? So like she picked a side, and to me, I've always thought the potential of Beyonce could have been a Taylor Swift type. Could have been a Michael Jackson type if she would have said, yeah, I'm just gonna make these songs that a white person would make and just, you know, be a black woman singing them and raise my profile a little bit. But nah, man, she picked us. You know, she put the Black Power fist up. She fucking, you know, dressed like the Black Panther. She put the lyrics all through her fucking song. She said, America's got a problem. You know, she said these Karens are turning into terrorists. Like, come on, man. She picked a fucking side. And I think that's why I was so happy to be in the building to watch her do her thing.
Yeah, and I think for me, I remember this is the year the Panthers went to the Super Bowl. Something happened, and me and you came home early, and Twitter was just like a blaze. We were trying to figure out what was going on, and this was when Formation came out, but it was like on a private stream. Like you it wouldn't just open. And when me and you watched it, that was the blackest shit I've ever seen in my life. We sat and watched that shit for like 4 or 5 hours straight on repeat. We was like, play it again, play it again, play it again, play it again. And then she turned around and she did the Super Bowl. And then she turned around, right after she finished the Super Bowl, she was like, I'm going on tour. So a lot of people had to memorize Formation, you know, and she breaks her own records because this tour basically outsold Formation.
And she ghost dropped that album, remember?
Yes!
Yeah, I woke you up. You know?
I remember that.
I went pre-downloaded it on your phone.
It was Scandal. It was, I forgot. It was when Scandal was on. And you was asleep.
And I was up, and I went and got your phone and pre-downloaded it so you could wake up in the morning and already have it downloaded and ready to go. Because this is back before like Spotify and Tidal and shit. You needed to buy the album off of Apple, download it to the phone so you could have it in the morning when you left the house. Because this is a while ago, at least for our phone plans or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You could just stream the shit.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, man, like. You know, I honestly, she made me a fan. Like, I like I said, I was never dismissive or disliked or any. I never said a shady thing about this woman in my life, but I just saw her before as like, okay, she's like a beautiful pop star that makes like, you know, girl anthems, and she came from a girl group, and good for her. Of course, she's fine as shit, you know, so there's obviously that. But then she just was like, oh, I'm sorry, America. Now that I'm in control of my own career, I'm black as fuck.
Yeah, and people weren't ready for that. A lot of people rejected that.
I remember the pushback,
and people got selective memory, but a lot them white women, their hearts was broken because they was like, we thought you was
this
ours.
shit wasn't no easy choice.
How dare you talk about a Negro nose?
This shit wasn't no easy choice, and also it was a shit ton of black people shitting on her too.
Right,
you not doing your black shit black right. And all this stuff. And it's crazy because she's coke with the cocaine in it, because she basically overcame all that. Most of these niggas are quiet as fuck now because she been doing it so long. It's not even an act. It's just who she is, you know. And I get people be untrustworthy or they be untrusting at first, but it's been long enough that they like, nope, she just fuck with black people this hard. This is what it is. And it's whether it be the list on her website, the people she shouts out, the podcasters she sends shit to, the fucking, like, she making choices, you know. And it's that kind of thing that I really don't understand any hate for her at this point. It's really, like I said, you just mad that the brand is the Coca-Cola, and so we can all make fun of Coca-Cola.
Yeah, and speaking of Coca-Cola, after she dropped that album, everybody started doing that bullshit. It's like a lot of times people don't give her credit for the trend she sets.
Right.
And also there was a lot of things. I remember years ago she would film herself constantly and turn the camera towards herself consistently. And I remember the jokes. I remember people, you weird stranger recording your, and this is before, you know, the YouTubes and the Instagrams, years before that. And a lot of that shit, she turned around and put down the motherfucking documentary. But I remember at the time, you weird, strange bitch, why you recording yourself? What's wrong with you?
I'll never forget after a Super Bowl performance, Perez Hilton and a bunch of other bloggers took still shots of her like during the dance and tried to find the most unflattering moments, and really like, on some real like coded racial trope shit, being like, here's her flexing her face or flexing her muscles and her abs, and they try to be like, look how manly she looks, which is some real fucking old school racism. It's just back to the old country racism. And I remember being so fucking furious. And then when she sued and had to take it down, there were people being like, ugh, she really suing them. And I was like, because this black woman has to protect her fucking image from you fucking Neanderthals. Because y'all will sit up there and say shit like, while she's in the middle of a pregnancy, she faking her pregnancy. Right. Y'all will say shit like, look how her ugly she is. Isn't that funny? And it's fucking, as a human being, I'm like, I get why she is so how much she keeps her shit insulated away from everybody. Like, when y'all want to see something about my family, I'll fucking tell you.
Right.
I want to do an interview. I remember she interviewed herself. People was mad. I said, why not?
Right.
Why the fuck not?
Right. She been enough interviews to realize motherfuckers is racist. They put out a context and everything. Like, she's like, no, I'm going to control this shit.
Also, it's my family. This is how I can have my peace of mind.
Right.
Because I don't know if y'all heard, but I'm one of the most popular people on the planet. And maybe I can't just go to the grocery store like you do. So I don't want to, like, I get my privacy by going up in the house and staying in there unless I got something to fucking tell y'all or sell y'all. Stay off my dick.
Yeah, and not only that, I remember it was something else. I forgot. But keep talking. I forgot it was something else I was gonna say.
Okay. Well, I just remember you know, all that stuff she was going through. And you know, when you look at how we dissect black women in public, you know, Serena Williams, all this stuff, and especially when she got like, she picked black people, a lot of the criticism of her was very racially coded, very unfair.
Yeah.
And like I said, I love what this woman represents. I love her, the fact that she chose us, and she's just so fucking talented to back it up. Like, it's undeniable talent. And you know, people always got their little catty shit to say, but at the end of the day, ain't nobody doing it better than her. Ain't nobody else gonna go on the tour 2.5 hours this physical. Like I said, I'm not shitting on Taylor Swift. This physical, like this athletic shit she's doing. moving around this much by herself, no opener, no closer, 2.5 hours, doing the shit every other day, adding shows
every other day,
bruh.
She left here and did 3 shows in the goddamn Atlanta.
How? I really don't know how she's able to do this. I would have understood if halfway through the show she would be like, guys, give me a second. That's how much she was working. So yeah, man, iconic show. If it's in your town, I mean, you need to see it. If you waited to get a ticket, the tickets have come down in a lot of places now because these fucking scalper people, as the fucking concert gets closer, they not gonna sell all them tickets, and now you can get a ticket for a more reasonable price.
Right.
I honestly think it's worth the price of admission. It's worth doing it.
And no matter,
I know in with the show she had in Baltimore where it rained, or DC where it rained, she fucking paid $100,000 so people could get home using mass transit because the transit was gonna close on them.
Right.
Like, it's the intentionality for me, man.
Yeah, and I really do. I appreciate that, and it's also one of the things where, all jokes aside, I really appreciate you, and I love you just allowing me to love on her and just be me. And the reason why I'm gonna say that is because, particularly when you see interactions online, and particularly when you hear straight black men talk, it's very frustrating because, as a black woman, I'm like, I just want to enjoy my thing. If it's not your thing, that's fine. But so many men get wrapped up in their own egos that they shit on anything that black women love like it's a motherfucking problem. We're not bothering nobody. We're minding our business. But anything that, particularly when it comes to Beyonce, y'all, we like and love, we gotta hear these ashy, shady ass, big baboon lip niggas coming over here talking shit, and you're like, nigga, what you over here for? Go on get.
What? Okay.
Yeah, I know. I'm doing that on purpose.
I know you did it on purpose. That's the problem. Isn't that I thought you did it on accident. But this episode will be taken off of YouTube too, I guess.
Oh, my bad.
It's fine. We can't upload right now anyway. But yeah, I absolutely feel you. I think it's that gender wars bullshit, and I think it's the niggas are still pulling girls' hair at their big age, and like I said, even before I was a fan, I was like, well, I just enjoy black women getting their life.
Right,
it's never come back to haunt me. Like, I've never seen black women having a good time and been like, God damn it, that's gonna ruin my day. So it's not an issue for me. And I think also, like, honestly, a lot of those dudes have come around. I think Beyonce won over a lot of fucking people. Like, you even see that shit less now, of the dudes trying to shit on her. There's a lot of dudes that, like, it's cool to like her now, so yeah, I think that was our experience for the most part. We came back to the hotel and slept like babies.
I mean, slept like rocks, and literally because of the humidity and stuff, and us getting up and down. When you came back, your clothes was just sweated, like you just sweat through everything.
Listen, that walk felt so long. That walk back, I'm like, I would have paid surge prices for an Uber. That's how much. I mean, the Uber wouldn't have made it, but that's how much that walk. I was like, should I just sit down for like 10 minutes, just lay on the ground next to this roach and just let the wind carry me away? I'll wake up in a couple hours and take the rest of the walk. But considering we had, my ring just from the concert was 200% every ring on my Apple Watch.
And you know what? My shit maxed out too. All the walking I was doing, and what was hilarious, not only was it doing that, and doing the concert, my phone was like, hey bitch, it's loud in here. It kept showing me that little ear. It was like, hey, you going over your decibels. Hey bitch, it's loud.
I've been turning that shit off.
You hear me? I said it's loud.
I've been turning that shit off my motherfucking phone. They know what time it is. Okay? Leave me alone. It's my ears anyway. If you don't like it being loud, why you make the Beats headphones so loud? Why you let them even go up that loud? That's y'all fault. Leave me out of it. It's not your business.
It's not your business. So all the little circles and my little watch was like, woo, it was like you broke personal records. I was walking so much, my watch was like, we see you walking. Is it indoor walking or outdoor walking? You just walking.
Yeah, it wasn't just the walking too. Like I said, it's the standing during the concert, it's the dancing, it's the singing. It's a workout, but I honest to goodness, I never left that concert in my brain. The next night I woke up and said, I'd fucking go tonight. Like I'd do another 200% on my rings tonight if I could. If she said, guys, stay here tonight and I'm gonna do another show, I'd be like, well, then fuck it. Let's go back. Let's do it again. So I man, I love that concert. I love the act. I love everything Beyonce did, the community that was around it, the excitement, the joy, everybody getting their life, everybody leaving each other alone, but also like having unity was beautiful. Everybody that was there knew the assignment. You didn't have to worry about.
You felt safe. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah,
but I felt really safe.
Yeah, I don't ever use the word safe space. It's just not I don't believe in that. But yeah, it felt like this is the right place to be, you know? And I don't know, man, in my mind, like I think about, I had a cousin who passed a long time ago. But he had moved to Atlanta. He was gay. He moved to Atlanta really to be like, I think more free, because it's just hard to be free here. And especially, family shit, religious shit, like it's a lot of shit. And Atlanta's like a home for people to be free,
Right, particularly down south. And
he passed at a young age. And I remember we went to his funeral. And there were all kinds of people that we had that I didn't know from his life because he had this whole other life in Atlanta, essentially.
Right.
And that was actually the first time I ever saw a trans person because I'd never seen a person that was trans that I knew of anyway.
Right.
And the reason I knew this person was trans is because somebody in my family had made a cruel joke about this person. And I was young. And even at that time, it still struck me like, why?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're grieving. This is another person that cared about, this family member of ours that passed,
right.
What there's nothing to be had that's funny about this to me.
Correct.
And, and I feel more strongly now about that than I even did then.
Mm-hmm.
But, at the same time, that's kind of the culture too. Like, people gonna be ignorant, say ignorant shit. Like, but my point being I felt like part of the thing was my cousin couldn't really feel like they were free here.
Right. That was,
and now, 30 years later or whatever, to be at this concert and see a bunch of people that remind me of my cousin that was being free and unafraid and free with all of us. Like, it wasn't free because the only people here are people like me. No, free because this artist has created a community and a space for me to just fucking be myself. Mm-hmm. And if I want to wear my thigh-high boots and my cutoff shorts and, be as loud and flamboyant as I want walking down the street, and everyone here knows the assignment and what we here for, and nobody's gonna say a goddamn thing to me. Ain't no jokes coming my way. It's just we're here to see this woman perform and participate in this community together. That is why I love Beyonce. And that's the space. That's the feeling of that utopia that, I'd love to have here. That's the space where you really can feel more like, oh yeah, we can all get in on the joke. Because we can all be equal here. And there's not a lot of people creating that space. Not white people, not black, not other black people. Very few spaces are like that. You know what I mean? Because it's cocaine in the Coca-Cola. So everyone's coming to get some around, at the break room. It's not, everybody like the cocaine in the Coca-Cola, y'all. So I felt like that was the vibe for that night. And I was just, I couldn't miss it. I really, I'm so glad I went. I'm so glad I fought through and pushed through the anxiety I felt.
I'm glad you went. And I'm thankful that you went.
Yeah. So that's it for me. Is there something else you want to talk about with Beyonce stuff?
Oh, I was just going to say this. I am glad you went. I'm glad that you enjoyed yourself. And my biggest thing, And it's back to me just being very grateful and thankful to you. I'm glad that you I don't want to, and I guess I could say this, because we're married, but I'm glad you kind of allowed me to plan everything out kind of the way I wanted to do it, with the purchasing of where we got the tickets and the hotels and all that stuff, because like you said, our anxiety is set differently. And my anxiety was, I knew it was going to be a lot of people coming to town. I got it. I was like, I didn't want to be sitting in traffic the day before.
Yeah. Oh, I totally understood your reasoning. And like I said, I didn't even say nothing about it. Like, cause I really was like, if it's overkill, then fuck it. Sometimes you got to kill them over. It is what it is. Like, I'd rather us have too much shit planned. Like, I'd rather us have too much preparation and not enough. So I'm, and I knew you needed that. So I wasn't going to tell you like, we don't need to be downtown a night before the concert. I wasn't even going to say it because it was like, or what? You know what I mean? Like, so we get an extra night in a hotel. I know a lot of people look at that as like a swanky cool thing. This is just the way my brain has worked. Same thing happened with me in New York. I'd rather be in my bed. Like everyone's telling me how great New York is, I had a great time. Some of my favorite people are in New York. I love those people. End of the day, I like Charlotte, North Carolina. And there's nothing wrong with me liking Charlotte, North Carolina. Mm-mm. And there's nothing wrong with them loving New York. Imagine the way you feel about New York, someone can feel that way about a different place. And then it adds up and they're like, oh, I see. You just like the Carolina blue skies and the weather and the fucking, it's everyone's got their butts out all the time and all that stuff. Like you like your home, you like what you like where you came from. And so for me, we just have different coping methods, but I put together kind of a plan on my own to be like, I can go back home, I can lay down for a while, I can be in my creature comforts, I can decompress, and then I can go back up there and I won't be interrupting your time because you don't need me to be downtown. My mom's with you. You can have all the fun you want to have. If anything, it's better than having me because I would have been like, y'all niggas want to walk a mile to go. Why won't we just walk back to the fucking hotel? We just ate. We're full of food. What are we trying to prove? Like, what? Go to the gym if you need to work out, but we got a hotel to go be in the hotel.
And also, I think, I'm not gonna lie, me and your mama, every time we talk, me and her been like Judge Judy tapping that watch. I was like, girl, is the time yet? She was like, I'm ready. She, like this is something ever since I bought them tickets. And the thing is, even before Beyonce announced it, I told your mama, I said, hey, I'm letting you know, I don't know. She been quiet. I was like, ain't nothing been happening. I told her, I said, she getting ready to go on tour. I don't know when, but I told her, I said, I'm going to get my money ready. And I said, I'm going to get us tickets to go. I told her this months ago.
I know. You've been talking about this. Everyone on the show knows this too. You've been talking about this for years, literally. So I think everybody, I just didn't want to fuck up Black Girl Time. Like I said, I almost fucked up and didn't go. Like a few weeks ago, I was like, maybe I should just let y'all go. Because what if I fuck up Black Girl Time? What if I get up there and I'm like, I don't want to go eat. Why y'all got to go eat? Like, and I just was like, I'm an adult. I actually can do what I want.
Yes.
I'm going to drive my car up there. And if I want to go back home, it's 15 minutes away. I'm going to go back home. And nobody's time will be ruined because my mom and you will be together. And y'all are grown ass adults that can choose to do it y'all. Y'all want to walk 7 miles to get ice cream? Do that shit.
And we had a ball.
Y'all want to go do whatever? Do that shit. So I think a lot of that's about, adjusting and stuff. And honestly, a lot of that's about therapy for me too, because therapy gives you tools. It helps you prepare. It's not this shit you see on Twitter where it's all just everyone should be into what you want to do. Like, no, that's that Twitter version. Twitter would have been like, why didn't you tell your wife you were having anxiety and she needed to stay in the room with you or whatever? And I was like, because she's a grown ass woman that wants to have a good time. And why would I want to fuck that up for anybody? But instead, going home, doing some things by myself. That was the thing that helped me. I listened to some podcasts, drove around, ran some errands. It helped me. Right. And it didn't fuck up Black Girl Time. And that was really what it was about.
Because that's what you needed. And like I said, I didn't realize it, but I was so my anxiety was different, and I just had to get that energy out because
you're an extrovert. We respond differently to shit. Also, I love that my mom went. I love that she was able to go. My mom is also very chill and like, not a lot of like, she's not a lot of work. I love y'all's relationship has never been like an animosity relationship. Y'all have always been road dogs like that the whole time.
Child, when people go, I don't get along with my in-laws, I'm like, ooh, child, that ghetto. I do not have them problems.
Yeah, she never brought that attitude. You never brought that attitude to it. And, I love that, y'all hang out and y'all do stuff like that too. And I really feel like this a once in a lifetime concert, and being able to have my mom be able to go to that, was so dope. You know what I mean? Like, to me, I wasn't like, I think that's why I've never cared about the price of the tickets, because I wasn't looking at it like money. I was looking at it like an experience. And I don't think you get to do 2 of these. No. Like maybe, hopefully you do, but you ain't no guarantee.
Ain't no guarantee. She might not tour ever again. We don't know.
I don't know. She's been doing this 25 years. Right. It's up to her. So I'm glad that we all got to have that time together. And it was beautiful. We're going to probably have to talk about Here's the Thing. Talk about Kev on Stage and Ball Brothers next episode, I think, because we've done such a deep dive on this and it's getting late.
Okay.
And I still need to edit this and put this out.
No problem.
But I know people were waiting on our Renaissance report. So the report is 5 stars out of 5, 10 out of 5, 15 out of 5. What the fuck you waiting for? Go see this. If you got tickets, stay in line. Stay
in line. Don't get your tickets up.
You're going to have a great time.
If you have to sell them.
You're going to have a great time. I promise you. This woman is otherworldly. Ain't nobody doing it like her.
The outfit change is worth the cost of admission. I mean, literally, she had up-teen outfit changes.
Yeah, it's just, honestly, outfit changes, the songs, the transitions, the side acts that got to take the main stage, the atmosphere, the professionalism. When I tell you this woman started this shit at like 9 on the dot and ended this shit at 11:30 on the dot. Not a goddamn beat was out of sync. It was it was impeccable. The thought that went into every transition, every outfit, everything she did, every image on the screen. I get it. Listen, I get it, cult people now. I get it. I thought I was above being in a cult, but if that woman would have waited about an hour into that show and said, guys, kill them 3 like ladies in front of you, I've been like, well, y'all gotta go. I'm like, you heard the Queen Bey. It's not my fault.
She's sending me subliminal messages on that big ass screen.
Right. You seen the screen? You see them bees
America
on the screen?
got a problem.
You seen when she transitioned into a spaceship and flew off into space?
Right.
Only the leader of the next god on Earth can do that.
Nobody else.
How only the person that communicate with the hereafter could even say some shit like that. So I'm sorry, white ladies. I gotta stab y'all drunk asses. No, you didn't even put the Black Power fist up, but the Queen demands.
The Queen has spoken.
That the Hive kill all the white people. Okay. Now they said, look under your seats, it's rifles and knives. It's y'all. It's go time for y'all. It's I get it. It was I get the cult sit now. So all right, y'all. That's it for tonight's show. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Get live tickets to our show at the Night Theater, September 9th, 3 p.m. in the afternoon, virtual or in person, doesn't matter. Click the show notes if you want to buy the tickets. If you want to buy in-person tickets and have us give them away, just remember, they'll send you an email for confirmation now, but about a week out from the show, they're going to send you an email with the PDF file. Yep. I need that email, not the first one. I don't care, but I need the PDF email for sure, or I can't give your tickets away.
Right.
So thank you, everybody. It was great. And I hope y'all enjoyed this recap. And until next time, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everybody. Have a good night.